Here we're going to look at a word problem that involves interest rates. We're going to use our graphing calculator to solve this problem. The variable interest rate on a student loan changes each July 1st based on the bank prime loan rate. For the years 1992 to 2004, this rate can be approximated by the model r of x equals negative 0.115x squared plus 1.183x plus 5.623. Here x is the number of years since 1992 and r is the interest rate as a percent. For this problem we have two parts. We want to use our graphing utility to estimate the highest rate during this time period, and then we want to determine during which year the interest rate was the highest. And for part B, we want to use this model to estimate the rate in the year 2010 and determine if that's a reasonable value. So to begin with, we need to enter our model into our graphing calculator in y1. So we'll go to our y equal to screen, and we'll enter negative 0.115x squared plus 1.183x plus 5.623. And we need to graph that. Let's go ahead and start with a standard window just to get an idea of what's going on. So we kind of see our graph looks like a parabola that's opening down. Now we're only interested in the years 1992 to 2004. And we said that x was the number of years since 1992. So in 1992, x would be 0, and in 2004, x would be 12. So we're going to adjust our window setting a little bit here. For x min, we don't care about years before 1992, so we're just going to let x min equal 0. That would represent 1992. For x max, we're going to let x max equal 12. That's corresponding to the year 2004. We'll use an x scale of 1 since we're only around 10. The difference between our max and min is about 10. Now for y min, y is the interest rate. And the interest rate as a percent. Since we can't have negative percents, we don't need to let y equal anything negative. So we're going to start with y min at 0. For y max, we're going to let y max equal 10 and see if that's a reasonable amount to see our graph. Scale again will be 1 since the difference between our min and max is 10. And we'll graph that again and see what it looks like. And we do see the entire graph between x equal to 0 and x equal to 12, so we don't need to adjust our settings anymore. For part A, we were asked to determine the highest rate during this time period, so that means we need to find the maximum. So we're going to go to our calc menu, select option number 4 for maximum. The left bound, we need to go to the left of the peak, so we want to scroll to the left so that we're clearly on the upside of the peak. Hit enter to select that. For our right bound, we want to scroll so that we're clearly to the other side of the peak, the downward slope. We'll hit enter. And for our guess, we're going to go ahead and try to scroll to the top of the peak and hit enter. And so from our calculator, we can see that over this time period, the maximum interest rate was roughly 8.67%. And this occurred when x is 5.14. Remember that x is the number of years since 1992, so this means that that maximum rate occurred in 1997. So we get 5 plus 1992 is 1997. For part B of this problem, we want to estimate the rate in the year 2010. What we're going to do there is adjust our window settings. We're going to change x max so that it is 20. That would put us in the year 2012, which is past what we want. Now y min, we're not sure what's going to happen, so let's go ahead and go down to negative 10 just in case. We'll keep our y max at 10 since we saw that the peak was not past 10, and we'll keep our scale at 1. Go ahead and graph that again. So we can see what's happening with our graph. It's continuing to go down as time goes on. And we want to find out what the value is in 2010. So we're going to go to our calc menu, and we want the value of the function. So we're going to pick option number 1. In 2010, that corresponds to x equal to 18. So So we want to put in x equals 18 and hit enter. We can see that the interest rate in 2010 is predicted to be negative 10.343. Now this is not a reasonable value, because what it basically means is that the bank would be paying interest to the student for the loan. And since the bank loaned out the money, they would not be paying interest to the student as well. That was an unreasonable prediction.